thedailymass.com. Experience the Roman Catholic Mass from historic St. Louis Cathedral every day on thedailymass.com. His love, anywhere in the world.
Good evening, I'm Sarah McDonald.
And I'm Jason Gillette. Welcome to Issues in Faith.
Well, first we want to start by thanking all of our viewers for watching us weekly. We appreciate it. Whether you're checking us out on WLAE or you're watching us online, we want to thank our viewers for doing that. And now there's a new opportunity for people to get Catholic programming 24/7.
Well, you know, that's something that, it's exciting. We're growing, I feel like, in our Archdiocese in so many ways. We have the Catholic Community Radio that's here that we can tune in and listen to.
Which we actually broadcast our audio recording of Issues in Faith at 10:30 on Saturday mornings.
Praise the Lord. So those are great opportunities for people to be able to hear wonderful opportunities. I love the show because we're able to meet so many great people that are doing so many wonderful things and trying to help educate everybody about the things that are happening in our Archdiocese, whether it's an educational thing, whether it's an event or just something that needs to be highlighted.
A story that needs to be told about ministry here in the Archdiocese.
So it's a wonderful opportunity. But then now with the Catholic radio or Catholic television station 24/7, tell us more about that.
Well, as most of our viewers would know, WLAE is no longer a PBS affiliated station. It is a public television station for New Orleans. So what has happened in changing up some of the programming on both main WLAE channel 32, the digital channels have also changed as well. So if you are tuning in to your television signal from a digital antenna, so you're pulling it from the air, you can now tune into Catholic TV 24/7 on 32.3.
And some of the programming that someone would take advantage of by doing that?
Well, it's great. You know, we've been affiliated with Catholic TV for a number of years. They have taken Issues in Faith and broadcasted it nationally. Catholic TV is a ministry of the Archdiocese of Boston, and it's a lot of original Catholic programming. You have programming based for children, teens, young adults, older people, commentary on Catholic issues of the day, really cool programming. And everyone is familiar with EWTN, and I think we are very grateful for Mother Angelica and what she did to really kind of make this a force in the United States. But Catholic TV has really taken this in a spirit of the new evangelization and made Catholic programming available nationwide. So we're really excited to now have it available here in the Archdiocese. And so, a lot of people who have Cox or a different cable channel may have difficulty accessing some of the digital channels. But if you are a household that has one DVR receiver or one cable box and you may be having another television, get a digital antenna and you can then access all the channels on the other television. We're a one TV household, so that can't happen in my house.
Well, definitely want to encourage, we have any excuses, right? We've got everything with regard to whether you're in the car, you can turn on the radio, whether you're at the home watching television, to be able to take advantage of the content that's out there that's provided for us through Catholic Community Radio or the television station. So just encourage viewers to make sure something new maybe once a week that you can do, that you can commit to one of the shows and take advantage of what's going on out there and learn more about the faith. It's great.
It is. And it's a lot of formation opportunities. And again, it's meeting people where they are, which is what we're called to do with the new evangelization.
I agree.
And soon there'll be another opportunity for local Catholics to learn more about their faith as new encounter sessions on Pope Francis's first encyclical get started later this month. Jason sits down for more information.
Well, thank you all very much for being with us. Todd Amick, as a pleasure, always being with you, and you've been with us before, and thank you very much for your opportunity to be here today, the opportunity here. And Dr. Daniela Jopin Jerome is with us here. And I want to ask you to first, I think this is your first time here on the show with us. Tell us your position here with Loyola and what we're going to talk about today.
Okay, well, first of all, I'm so excited to be here. Media and ministry is something that I research and I spend a lot of my time thinking about, so it's always a delight for me to be in a studio and actually see how it happens.
Right,
so
exactly.
Very cool. I've been blessed to be at Loyola. This is my third year. I teach at the Institute for Ministry. and I teach in the areas of ecclesiology, sacraments, and liturgy, as well as what I mentioned about media and ministry, which is my particular research. And it's just a joy to be here, being part of this conversation, working with Todd, and more ways with the Archdiocese too.
Well, there's a special project going on, a special catechesis, sessions of opportunities for people from around the area to take advantage of. So tell us what's going on, Todd.
Okay, Pope Francis has given us an encyclical, a teaching document to help us to know what the gift of faith is. And one of the calls of the new evangelization is to meet people with new ardor, as well as with new techniques and new methods. And one of those is, if people aren't going to read an encyclical, why not provide an audio copy so that they can listen to it in a convenient format? So we asked the Holy See if we could have permission to do that, and they gave us their blessing to be able to.
Praise God.
So we're going to have encounter sessions throughout the Archdiocese with the thought of Pope Francis, to help people to be able to grow in faith through this gift of the Church, and to be able to see what it is to grow in faith with Christ and the ministry and life of His Church.
Dr. Danielle, what to expect when someone comes to this? Is this a one person presenting, and are the 5 sessions that are going on, are they the same, are they different, or what's going on?
Well, it's going to be one talk given at 5 different locations. So it's the same talk, but we planned it so that it'll be more accessible for people throughout the Archdiocese. One of them will be at Loyola during our Loyola Week, which is University Ministry's effort to promote faith and all kinds of activities around it. But there will be other locations. Maybe you can touch on those. And when one comes to a talk, it will be a 3-person panel. As well as question and answer. So each of us will have about 15-20 minutes to present an angle or a particular approach to the thought of Pope Francis based on the encyclical, and then some question and answer, and then that repeated 2 more times. So it's a conversational approach to really the depth of his wisdom that's present there.
Praise God. Well, Todd, who's going to be part of that panel?
Well, Dr. Daniela, as soon as we saw, okay, well, a lot more people are going to listen to this. Everyone that comes to a session is going to get a free audio copy.
That's
we're also going to have a link on the Archdiocesan website that you can go to be able to get a digital copy. But as soon as I realized that we're going to be able to have this gift, one of the first names that came to mind was Dr. Daniela, who's going to help us to look through a particular lens, especially through the sacraments that she can talk a little bit more about. But also Father James Wayner, the rector of the seminary, who's going to look at the lens through Christ, through the human person, and through the human's vocation with Christ through the Church. And as well as my contribution will be to look through a pastoral lens, and a lens that really looks to the cultural questions that are being asked, to be able to see how faith is a key to those.
Dr. Danella, you talked about a sacramental lens. Could you tell us a little bit, might get a little snapshot of what that might look like?
I'm very happy to it'll be hard to say just a little bit.
I know.
But I'll try. So this whole lecture series is an invitation into encountering Pope Francis and his thought. Of course, the encyclical, as he said, was written with 4 hands. Pope Emeritus Benedict initiated it and I think put a lot of the teaching into it, but Pope Francis finished it and signed it. So it's both of theirs. But I think what we're seeing with Pope Francis is really not just having completed the encyclical, but now embodying its teaching and living it. And he is a pope, to me, that has such a profound understanding of sacramentality. Now, of course, we have our 7 sacraments, but we also have this concept of sacramentality, whereby we recognize God's revelatory, beautiful, loving presence in everyday ways.
That's right.
So I think Pope Francis just does that. So, name the amazing thing he's done. There's a list of them. Washing feet, eating with the homeless. This morning I read that he has spent at least 3.5 hours this morning so far just greeting people at his general audience, just hanging out, you know. So this idea of a
being present.
Yes, being presence, how important that is for sacramentality. So what I found really beautiful and enriching, and what I hope to talk about during the series, is exploring the light of faith in light of that lens, and especially through how Pope Francis is embodying it for us. The whole world is watching him, and they're fascinated by how present and real and down to earth he is in some ways. And I think that is really key to understanding how he's inviting us back to sacramentality and faith through his sheer just down-to-earth presence. So I'll be talking a little bit about that. Sorry if I go too long. I really excited.
No, that's awesome.
I love the topic.
Well, Todd, you said the pastoral lens. Tell us a little bit about what that one might look like.
Well, in the encyclical, one of the last things that Pope Francis looks at is the relation between faith and society, faith in the common good, faith in the family, and also faith in suffering.
Yeah.
These are all experiences that we all have, and some of them, especially the family, we're experiencing a certain crisis.
Yeah.
So to see the way that the questions that we have, the experiences that we have, become more profound through the gift of faith that leads us to Christ through the Spirit is a gift that I think we can all be open to.
Well, who's this directed toward as far as in the church? I mean, who are you promoting or marketing this rather to?
Don't forget to mention the other locations as well. Maybe they'll help answering this question.
Sure. One of the thoughts we have, as well as making the encyclical more accessible to everyone in content, we also wanted to make the different locations more accessible. So we're going to be on the North Shore at the Abbey. We're going to be at Notre Dame Seminary at Loyola. For the river parishes at St. Joan of Arc Parish. And for the West Bank at Infant Jesus of Prague.
Wow.
But this is open to all the faithful. And so what we want to do is to give these lenses that really help people to be able to appreciate in a very gentle and pastoral way what the Holy Father is calling us to.
I would imagine you're talking about DREs, religious teachers, CCD, PSR teachers, but also to just the faithful, just everybody. I mean,
everyone,
I remember when I first became aware of the beauty of the church's teaching. I did not have a theology degree at the time, but I just wanted to be exposed to it, and maybe I couldn't receive everything, but I wanted to see if there was something that I could hold on to. And I found that in JP2's encyclicals. Although they're very amazing and beautifully written, there's no way I could have taught a course on it at the time, but at the moment, I was very appreciative of being able to be open to receive what little I was able to receive. So anyway, what are your thoughts on that as far as people coming to these sessions?
You know, something that I always encourage my students at Loyola to recognize and make their own is access to the encyclicals, access to the body of teaching. Go online and find it. Go to books. They're just there for us. And really, some of them are more complex and dense than others, but they really are there for the whole world, available. A funny phrase I was taught during my own doctoral formation was, documents are our friends, which they are.
Right.
And so I try to instill this. And so in some ways, what I'm trying to say as I'm explaining all of this is that really this is a way to invite people into considering what an encyclical is and having that be less intimidating and more just accessible.
Exactly. Amen.
Like here, this beautiful letter is for you,
That's
the people
right.
of
Exactly
faith.
right.
And here are some ways we've thought about it. Let's think about it together. Really, that's what it is, and really just providing that access for people into that body of wisdom.
Well, I'm looking forward to coming. I am planning on being at the North Shore location, so looking forward to being with you. I hope you have a great turnout. Let us know how things go, and if y'all need anything, please keep us posted. But y'all are in our prayers. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Once again, the sessions will be held at 5 different locations in the Archdiocese of New Orleans starting October 30th. For more information, please call 504-482-8010, or you can email Todd at tamick@arch-no.org, and we'll be right back.
What will the world ask of them? Whatever it is, they'll be prepared to answer. Because in a safe and disciplined environment, Louisiana Catholic schools shape tomorrow's leaders. Catholic students are rising. 99% graduate. Almost all go to college. They'll earn higher wages, be community involved, more tolerant of diverse views. And the world will be better because of them. Louisiana Catholic schools, in a class of their own.
The heart of Woman's New Life Center is its outreach to women in unplanned pregnancies, especially those who are seeking an abortion. Our professional counseling services, combined with free ultrasound tests, provide each woman with the nurturing she needs, while also revealing her unborn child to her. For more information about the life-saving work of Woman's New Life Center, call 504-831-3117 or visit womansnewlife.com.
As we continue our focus on the dignity of life this month, we are reminded that we are all called to reach out to those who are hurting, especially those who have been hurt by abortion. Pam Richard, co-coordinator of the local Rachel's Vineyard Retreat Ministry, joins me now to talk about this very special and important ministry of our church. Thank you so much, Pam, for being with us tonight.
Thank you, Sarah, for having me.
Well, we touched a little bit on what the Rachel's Vineyard Retreat is, very, very briefly in an interview with Peg Kenny last week. But could you, again, for our viewers, tell us what the ministry is all about?
Well, the ministry facilitates healing, mercy, and forgiveness to the person, to the woman and man who has had abortions. They provide a safe, confidential environment where they can share that story, and many of them share that story for the very first time in that retreat setting. And it's very important for them to feel that they're safe and to feel comfortable with the retreat team and know that their story is confidential, and that, in fact, we take a confidential oath and make sure that if they share the story, that's their prerogative, but we won't. And so many women who have had abortions live in shame and guilt, and many times for years and years after the abortion immediately go into denial, and it stays there. She doesn't want to talk about it. Nobody wants to talk about it. It's filled with shame and guilt
and secrecy.
And secrecy is a big thing. And they feel that they have committed the unforgivable sin. So if they do go to church, many of them don't, but if they do go to church, they won't go to communion, if they're Catholics, they won't be part of the sacramental life of the church because they feel so unworthy. But what we see on the retreat is that they do go back to communion. They have an opportunity to go to confession. Many of them have gone many times before, but they can't accept the forgiveness. They don't believe that God could be bigger than that He can forgive them. But they will receive communion and have that burden lifted, And
the Rachel's Vineyard Retreat is solely directed at the woman, at the mother, and her healing and her forgiveness. And obviously, I know there's steps where they recognize the life of their child, and then go through the process of grieving, all in this retreat.
All in this retreat is a wonderful process that's comprised of psychology, the faith-based counseling, plus scripture. We start off with forgiveness, the woman caught in adultery. Jesus says, let him who is without sin throw the first stone. And we have rocks that they can't forgive themselves. They're invited to pick up a rock and carry it with them wherever they go until they feel that they can go ahead and let go of any unforgiveness of themselves or anybody and feel that freedom there. On that Saturday, they have a chance to share the story. Many of them, as I said, for the first time. Then further on, they have a chance to meet their child with Jesus in a field. We set the tone. We're just there to set the tone, to let them have that experience, which is between them and the Lord. And they have a chance to spiritually meet that baby once again and know that the child is with Jesus.
And Pope Francis is calling all of us as Catholics to not be preachy, really. He's calling us to act and to open our hearts and our arms, especially to those who feel outcast, whether it's a spiritual poverty, which many of the women who are suffering from abortions are, or a physical poverty. And so this is an extraordinary way of putting Pope Francis's call into action.
It is. It really is. I'm thinking of the gospel from this past Sunday. It was about the leprosy. And so many of these women feel like they have a spiritual leprosy. They can't forgive themselves. They feel that if they share that story with anybody, they're going to be judged. In fact, one of the things that a post-abortive woman will tell me is that she'll ask me after she shares her story, do you still like me? And it pains me because who am I? I am a sinner. Who am I to say, no, I don't like you, you had an abortion, be gone? Jesus wouldn't do that. No. Jesus always, he's a lover of souls. Love the sinner, hate the sin. And that's the mantra of Jesus Christ, that he is there to forgive. On these retreats, they experience that forgiveness. They experience that mercy. We not only have tremendous spiritual healing, we have physical healings as well. One lady, after she shared her story, she said, we had prayed, and she said, I've had a constant pain in my stomach. I've been to so many doctors, didn't know what it was. They said, oh, it's nothing. And she says, I know what it was. I carried the burden of that abortion. She says, I'm healed. I'm healed. And what a happy day that was.
I'm sure. I'm sure. Well, Pam, for women and men, because this is a retreat that is open to men, because it is, as hard as it is for women in 20, even 30 years removed, to go and seek this forgiveness, it's even harder sometimes for men who have been affected by abortion to do this. How would they get in touch with you? How would they register to come?
Well, you can, on the Rachel Vineyard, the national website, which is www.rachelsvineyard.org. Melanie Baglow, the other co-director, and myself, our contact information is there. But you know, we have, you can go on the, that would be the main way that they can get in touch with us.
And this is for people of all ages, all experience. If they have been affected by an abortion, if they are post-abortive, this is a retreat for them to come and experience a warmth, love from you all, the retreat team, but also, and more importantly, from Jesus Christ and our Lord.
Absolutely. And we have had grandparents on. We've had friends. Abortion is something that is a thing that just ripples through the entire family. We're all affected by abortion in some way. It's not just between the woman and the doctor and her God, as those of the pro-abortion slant would say, but it's a familial thing.
Well, especially, and you know, this is a very difficult thing to discuss at times, but when you talk about many women who have had abortions, over half of them say that they felt coerced into having the abortion, either by their family members or their partner.
Absolutely. 67% in the United States of women that have had abortions said they were coerced into having the abortion by the two people, the father of the baby and her own parents.
So this is a retreat, again, like you said, for the grandparents who may have experienced it, for mothers, for fathers. And this is, again, an extraordinary way for the church to open its arms and help those who have been suffering experience forgiveness and mercy.
Yes, and we welcome anyone to come. Just please contact us.
And if anyone...
We have openings.
And its cost is not going to be a factor. If you can't afford the registration, a scholarship will be provided. So if there's anyone out there who feels compelled to help in that way, we invite you to do that.
Now, the retreat is in Ponchatoula at Rosaryville Retreat Center, November 15th through the 17th, from that Friday to the Sunday. And you can even go on that. Anyone who's listening can go on that website and see that information there, or they can call us. My number's there, too.
Thank you so much, Pam, for being here tonight and for this very important ministry that you and Melanie are doing here in our Archdiocese.
Thank you, Sarah, for having me.
Well, once again, the Rachel's Vineyard Retreat will be held November 15th through 17th at Rosaryville, and scholarships are available. For more information, go to www.rachelsvineyard.org or call 1-877-HOPE-FOR-ME, and we'll be right back.
You're watching WLAE, New Orleans Public Television. Find us on Cox Channel 14, Charter Channel 11 and 711, AT&T Channel 32 and 1032, Dish TV, DirecTV, and over-the-air broadcast on Channel 32.
It's fall festival time, and parishes across the area are celebrating and raising money for their churches and schools. But one small parish is celebrating for a different reason. As Karen Boudreau reports, St. Mary's of the Angels is growing stronger.
The ravages of Hurricane Katrina are still evident throughout the Upper Ninth Ward. Homes in ruins, families scattered. But one house, one block, one neighborhood at a time, life is bouncing back here. On a balmy September Sunday, St. Mary's of the Angels opens its doors to the community for Family Day, just like it has for many years. But this year, something's different. More people than even before Katrina have shown up.
We are alive and we are back. And we want to welcome people to the Ninth Ward area and fellowship with them and get them to be a part of our church family.
And with a renewed sense of purpose and drive, the church members are focused on strengthening the parish and thus the community. Marvin Mercadal gathered men who were up to the task and created a new shining light for the parish, the Mighty Men of St. Mary's, now 1 year strong.
The group of guys that I come together with, they say a lot, you know, not by words, but the action that we do every day, you know, whether it's helping somebody walk up the steps, or whether it's giving somebody a ride, or taking communion to somebody's house, or taking out the trash. I mean, any little thing we could do to help upbring, it sends a message to every other guy that says, hey, those are the mighty men of SMA, and it goes a long way further than you would think.
So they do those simple things like cook burgers for Family Day and work to show others the way.
When strong men come together, there is nothing no neighborhood cannot do.
They see Bywater coming back in a big way, and there's no reason, they say, that the other side of St. Claude can't do the same. Father Dennis Bose of St. Mary's also sees a lot of room for optimism.
I would say St. Mary the Angels is open. We'd love to have all of you come back, but you know, the parishioners are great. There's a great spirit here. The Upper Ninth Ward, where we're located at, is coming back. The people here in the neighborhood is good. I think sometimes people think of the Upper Ninth Ward and are scared of it, and that's not the case here at St. Mary the Angels. It's a safe place to be.
With more and more families coming back, Father Dennis is focused on nurturing the young people by growing the youth ministry at St. Mary's. And if you talk to the kids, it seems that's already happening.
This was like for the whole church, so we could get to know each other more and celebrate what we've been doing at church.
Today was a good day, and we had so much fun.
I took my first communion with Father Dennis. Father Dennis really treats everybody like his children, and I ought to serve with him.
Well, I think it's a loving church, and Father Dennis, he made jokes, and he tells about the Lord and God, and I like the church because these people, they're sweet, they're nice and loving.
Yes, there's a lot to celebrate at St. Mary's as they move forward with renewed hope and spirit. For Issues in Faith, I'm Karen Boudry.
St. Mary's of the Angels School was closed after Katrina, but has reopened as a community center. In addition, the parish operates a Head Start program and, as the story mentioned, a growing youth ministry program.
If you have a question for us or have an idea for a story you'd like to see on air, please write to us at Issues in Faith, 3330 North Causeway Boulevard, Suite 345, Metairie, Louisiana 70002, or email us at questions@wlae.com. Plus, if you missed an episode, you can catch up online at www.archdiocese-no.org. And that's our program for this evening. For all of us at Issues in Faith, thanks for watching.
We'll be back next week. Hope you join us again soon. Until then, God bless.